r/ask Reddit. What is legal and should become illegal? It should be illegal to blatantly lie to voters while running for political office. We call it fraud and jail people for lying in order to gain financially. Yet we call it normal and allow politicians to lie in order to gain votes for political offices. Offices which not only benefit them financially but also give them enormous amounts of power to benefit and detriment others. Then we wonder why political office seems so often to attract the most fraudulent, sociopathic, and dishonest among us. We basically have a neon sign over our political system saying, if you enjoy committing fraud and are a pathological liar, please apply here. We will let you deceive as many of us as you possibly can for more money and power than you can dream of. Well, see, that's why politicians in the past used to be smart about it. They wouldn't outright lie, but they would tell half-truths, or just skirt the truth just enough to if you try to fact check it, there may be a basis for whatever the statement is. Nowadays though, duck, these a-holes don't play around anymore. They just flat out lie, and the shitty thing is that we no longer have sufficient journalists that do their jobs in holding the powerful accountable and checking them on the bullshit they spew. Like, man, in the last presidential election, during the debates I so often thought shit. I so want them to be able to provide real-time fact checks during the debate. Like when they ask a question to a candidate and they just lie or even say shit like no, I never said that, even though they have. Just have the moderator be like, just go to the tape. It would be so easy to have some people in the control booth to just run checks on the candidate's statements. Elections are all about winning, he said. So tell them you'll keep all their families fed. Feel free to explain how you'll cancel their debt. Then promise them money, and ducking forget. Declare that you'll fix all their problems with speed. You'll give them whatever it is that they need. You'll make any choice that they want you to make. You'll walk any path that they want you to take. And when they've discovered you've filled them with lies, you've hidden the truth from their innocent eyes, you simply deny what they're claiming and then you have an election and do it again. Civil asset forfeiture. You're free to go. Your car and money are under arrest. How does that even work? Increasing the volume on commercials by 20 goddamn decibels. I thought that was illegal according to the FCC or FTC. It is. Either advertisers have found loopholes or nobody regulates it. Subscription to an emailing list without a previous email confirmation. Or worse, you've unsubscribed from a mailing list, but then the company changes to a new mass marketing provider and just hands over their entire list of emails they've ever collected. So now, even though you've unsubscribed 4 years ago, you are back to receiving stupid spammy ass little bullshit ass emails and have to unsubscribe again. Then you know damn well when they change email companies again, you're going to have to do it a third time. Yes, I hate this so much. Since my email is a simple combination of first name, last name.gmail, I get so much crap from people who are idiots who share my name or people who just make it up same then bam. I'm a subscriber to some crappy marketing list. No warning. No checks. Nothing. Siren sounds on the radio. That should also include car honking sounds on the radio. Years ago I was driving alone listening to the radio when this ad came on that contained a lot of aggressive, frantic honking. No words, no music, just a lot of loud honking for the first 5-ish seconds of the ad. It scared the shit out of me and made me slam my brakes. I can't remember what company the ad was for, but I later realized it was supposed to be about two cars having a conversation through honking. Yikes, it made me pretty wary of listening to the radio while driving, since I'd start worrying about when that ad would come on again. Phone vibrating sounds too. The other day I heard that sound from my left speaker and instinctively looked down by my door to see who was calling, when I should know full well my phone is plugged into their center console and will in fact ring and announce the caller. I just glanced down for a second but veered almost out of my lane. This used to be illegal, but advertising for prescription-only drugs. This is illegal in all of the EU plus UK, Switzerland, etc. It's illegal everywhere except the US and New Zealand. Child beauty pageants. Agiad. There's something completely illegal feeling about parents living vicariously through their children. That reasoning also applies to kids playing sports, and I'm pretty sure there's developmental reasons that at least some sports shouldn't be played by kids so young. convenience fees for paying taxes and bills online. It's not a convenience fee, it's a haha, duck you, more money for me, fee, and don't give me that they have IT costs. They ducking don't 10 seconds after their software provider finishes setting up their system. Include resort fees in that. If I can't opt out, then just charge me the ducking real price. Hiding ingredients in food by calling it natural flavors. God forbid the public knows we use nasty beaver parts on themselves. Beaver butt oil used to be a key ingredient in ice cream and the like before we started making flavoring in a lab. Convenience fees to make payments. At the very least, make ones that are based on percentage of the payment itself illegal. Example, I wanted to pay university tuition online in the US, so of course thousands of dollars. Payment was through a third party that charged a convenience fee of around 5-10%. For other charges, aka not several $1,000s, that could be just an annoyance. But in my case it meant they wanted me to pay a convenience fee of several hundred ducking dollars. Thought they got a paper check in the mail. Jesus Christ, they should pay us a convenience fee for giving them such a convenient source of income. Unnecessarily bright dipped headlights. Every single morning, I have to resist the urge to flash my brights at people because I mistake their now normal bright ass lights for them having their high beams on. Why resist the urge? Contracts signed by parents on behalf of their child still be enforceable once the child comes of age. Taylor Swift and Lily Allen are the big famous examples of this. But it happens to loads more who don't get big enough to get the media attention. They did not sign the contract. Forcing an adult to live by the rules in the contract they did not agree should be classed as a form of slavery. It actually does violate at least one law that I know of in the US. The same law that makes child marriage illegal, as it is stated in the legal case used to get the law enacted, that marriage is a contract, and that a contract must signed willingly by the involved party, and said party must be of an age where they can legally consent. I mean, this should be its own thread on this post, but child marriage is legal in the US, and happens far more often than you'd think. For profit prisons edit, 3-word huh. I wonder if that shit exists outside the US because as far as I know it doesn't, at least in free countries. Here in Australia we have private prisons and wouldn't you know it, they are the ones with the highest rates of inmate violence, the highest rate of smuggling contraband, the highest rates of staff assaults by inmates and the lowest staff to inmate ratios. Free trials that auto-charge when they run out. I hate those tbh. Wish they'd just let you trial it and then when it runs out you're done until you pay for the subscription. Avoid free trials a lot just cause I don't wanna deal with this. I feel like this is why Amazon keeps trying to give me free trials of Prime. They're hoping I'll forget so they can charge me for it. Family vloggers, and any other kind of making kids famous on social media. They have no privacy, no protections in place, nothing. Some place underneath podcast just did a fantastic series about this and I really recommend giving it a listen. If kids are not old enough to have an account, 13-year, they should not be the star of the account. I see your crappy person and raise you and adopting a child to raise views on the vlog and rehoming him when the views don't increase eps. www.news. Pop culture news. Youtuber Micah Storfer under fire rehoming autistic son in 1,216,636. Overselling a plane and putting people who bought tickets on standby. In any other industry, selling something that doesn't exist would be considered fraud. Absolutely. Forced overtime. It doesn't even make sense. You must work for free unless you are fired. You get paid for the overtime. It's the fact that you're literally forced to work when you signed up full-time 40 HRSWK. Gerrymandering. How the hell is it just for a politician to pick their constituents? It results in more extreme candidates and disenfranchised voters who got packed or cracked. It would be extremely easy to create software that draws all these maps. There is absolutely no reason people are still doing it. Oh, there absolutely is a reason. There's just no honest reason. Insider trading by elected officials. Absolutely blatant abuse of power and funneling of wealth. And the only people who could make it illegal are the insiders. So it'll never happen. Not being able to unsubscribe to something using the same method you used to subscribe. To subscribe, hit one button to unsubscribe. You'll have to send 3 separate emails and make phone calls to people on 2 different continents, neither of which you can understand. Ticketmaster. How is that not scalping? Booking charge. It's an online system. You're making a share of every ticket already. Booking charges on top of that are scandalous. That whole new resale option blows my mind, as if they weren't bad enough. Political campaign donations. All political campaigns should be free to run. No one gets to advertise. Network TV Irish debates in prime time paid for by the taxpayer. If I recall correctly, the Democrats recently just proposed a bill where you would have to publicly show all donors of over $10,000 and not a single Republican voted in support of it. All for show. No Democrat would want it implemented either. If you think Democrats are somehow morally superior when it comes to campaign donors, lobbyists or insider trading, you're not paying attention. Payday loan companies. Ops prompt is basically give me a list of John Oliver feature segments from the last few years. People marrying minors. Minors marrying minors. Minors marrying minors. Pharmaceutical ads. Seriously, you cannot treat prescription medicine like a consumer good. Those stupid ducking minigame ads for mobile games. Deliberately fails easy puzzle. Can you do better? Download now. I'm fine with the minigames if the actual app is actually the same game. Congress owning stocks in any industry or company they regulate, take money from, etc. Corporations donating to political campaigns, advertising prescription drugs to customers. The US is one of the only places this is still legal. Elected officials should just be required to put all their assets except the home they reside in 183 plus days per year and 1 car into a blind trust until they are out of office. Don't care if you're on the local school board or president. Breeding dogs that are no longer healthy. Looks at brachiocephalic dogs, especially pugs. Sending catalogs to my house without my permission. The quantity of paper that is wasted is unreal. We called to have them cancelled but they keep coming. I have to pay to have my trash collected where I live. So basically those companies are forcing me to pay to throw away their garbage that they created unnecessarily, and there is nothing I can do. False advertisement of big food companies. For example, foods claiming sugar-free but actually contain sugar. Edit. Added few words. Same shit about free-range chicken and hormone-free chicken. Free range just means that the chicken can access the outside, but there's no minimum size for the outside part of their environment, which means that a thousands or more chicken could share a 5 foot x 5 feet square of outside and it would still be considered free range. Also, all chicken are hormone free because it's illegal to use growth hormone on them. Child marriage, sex with children. It is crazy how people are trying to make this normal again. I remember a news story from either this year or last about Missouri trying to pass this law for 12 years olds to be able to be married to grown-ass men. Headlights that are so bright they could blind you. These sick moves. Shuffles intensely. Oh damn. Son, you must be an arsonist because you're on fire. I promise to never speak or type like that again. All the lies told in political ads. Declawing cats. I'd rather have my cats scratch my face off than ever putting them through that much pain. In Canada, all provinces aside from Ontario have banned it outright. And sure about the territories. As the owner of a cat who made my new couch its scratching post, there are other options out there. Train your cat. Put claw caps on it. I read once upon a time if your cat is scratching up all your belongings, it may mean you don't have enough scratching posts. Aside from that, scratching helps them relieve stress and declawing will only make that stress worse for them. Don't blame the cat for its natural behaviors. Civil forfeiture. I think paparazzi should be illegal, to be honest. Predatory lending. This includes aggressive service charges, fees etc. Congressmen and women trading stocks. Had to think about this one a second. Phrasing made me think you wanted to ban women from the stock market. Child marriage. Just because your cult following parents say it's okay to marry a man 50 years your senior shouldn't make it legal. People serving more than 3 terms in the Senate or 5 terms in the House. and being over the age of 60-65. There should be a term limit and an age limit for all things government. I'm tired of having the same old geezers sit in the house for 20 years. They're so out of touch with the new generation. No wonder why things go to shit. Cops can lie to you, but you cannot lie to them. Clipping puppy tails and ears. Releasing balloons. Pretty littering. Nestle. Bribery. Sorry, I mean lobbying. Kanye West. Politicians making medical decisions. They really do make crappy doctors. I say Congress should be taken to court for practicing medicine without license or certification. The predatory practices of the U.S. healthcare system. The amounts of sugar that are added to foods, especially foods that don't need sugar. Funding their own charity group to evade their existing taxes. Ticket touters. So many people won't get to see their favorite artists now, plus people will end up playing to empty stadiums as the cost of living grows. When I go to a doctor and they suggest a test or procedure, an x-ray for example, I should know how much I will be obligated to pay. I declined a procedure today the doctor suggested because I had no clue what it would cost. I have insurance. It's like going to a restaurant where the menu has no prices, except the food helps keep me not sick or dead. Those predatory vehicle loan places for people with bad credit where you can be charged like quadruple what the car is worth, and if the loan defaults the car can be sold over and over to more poor suckers. Piercing newborns' ears because it looks pretty to you. Infant circumcision. Ads become much lower than the stuff you watched. Wordsent. In US. Bribing politicians. The space of a seat in an economic class plane. I work in the air. The amount people have to pay in co-pays for a visit. My sis-in-law has to pay $250 per a visit and she's been really sick lately. Is up to $750 now. 3 a visits. All while we get drunks and hypochondriacs on state insurance coming into the air daily for free. For them, the system is so broken. Corporations owning single-family homes also. Sale of my data. I should not have to opt out for a company not to sell my data. I should have to opt in. Paternity fraud and baby trapping. They're sex crimes and should be treated like any other sex crime. The shittens amount of advertisement inside each digital things, be it in a website, a YouTube video, games etc etc. Government bailing out banks and airlines with taxpayer money. Unskippable ads on YouTube. Child beauty pageants. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.